の道はここで終わりだ。その先の力というもの。ブリーチ、ブレイブソウルズ。
Alrighty, what is going on, you guys? This is your brother Deathsmasher, and welcome back to yet another Bleach Brave Souls video. And today we are going to be updating yet again the top 10 list of Technique characters that we have in the game, because Technique has gotten a really huge power creep within the past couple of months, to the point that SAIKYOU was already dethroned by one character in particular, which you guys already know. But for the sake of the video, I'm not going to make any spoilers. So, with that being said, let us begin. We have gotten ourselves a lot of tech characters ever since the month of January. So, with that being said, a lot of characters have dropped off the list, and some characters have got their positions completely swapped. So, who are those top 10 characters? Well, we're about to get into it. But starting off with the honorable mentions, we bumped down Tsukishima, Nemu, and Orihime from the top 10 list because there's just a lot of better characters that have come out, which is actually crazy to even think about. But Tsukishima is still very good. It's just that the thing that holds him back is mainly the SA2 and not having guard break. His damage output is very good, 40% Berserker with full stam of 20, still very damn good. Havoc of 20%, long stride. Yeah, he's good, and he's got a lot of survivability since he has Drain. It's just that not having guard break hinders this character by a good margin, and the fact that he has the what's it called? The shockwave attack. There we go. Excuse me. Nemu, she's still very good. Don't get me wrong. Very good damage output. It's just that she doesn't have guard break despite having the godly kit of the 3k length beam, the 960, and then the charge SA3. So she's definitely fallen off by a good margin despite having good damage and the increased status element chance against speed hollows. And then Christmas Orihime, still a good Link Slot Potion character if you guys do not have her. It's just that there is a lot of better characters that can farm the game. So, yeah, also no guard break. So basically, same exact thing that I stated for the other two characters. But now, let us begin the top 10 list. Coming in at number 10, I have to give it to Ilford Grants, bro. I can't believe this. I'm actually putting in a mid-month character at the number 10 spot. It's crazy to even think about, but take away the fact that he is a very relevant character, and just look at what this guy has to offer. Okay, sure, the killer is bad. He's got Squad 0, but everything else that he has makes it up for it, because he's got weakening on the entire kit. He's got Frenzy +1, guard break, is a Link Slot Potion character. Oh, and by the way, this is the first Technique character that is premium to get the Link Slot Potion skill. Every single one of these tech pot units are literally limited and seasonal characters, so it's crazy to even think about. But he's got a Berserker of 40% and has the Technique attribute character strong attack damage. Well, it's a Ronker in this case, but look at what he has. For starters, once he inflicts weakening, he can do 40% more damage to weakened enemies. That's already one thing to take into consideration. And then he has this powerful skill right here. Multiple Ronker characters, strong attack damage of +10%. If you have a full team of Ilford and Grimjow's in an epic raid lobby, you can easily get that buffed up to an additional 60% that will allow Ilford to do more damage as a whole. And that is one thing that is crazy to even think about. This is the same skill that the 3rd anniversary Ulquiorra remake has, but in this case, because Ilford is a normal pot character, you can definitely use that to your advantage. And on top of that, has Sprint +1, Team Party, Stamina Recovery, and 100% chance to hit all enemies that can dodge. So, yeah, and his kit is pretty good. He's got a 2500 length beam, an 800 AoE in front, and a full screen 1000 radius SA3. Now, this character is not really meant to be used for the likes of Inheritance Trials. You can use him once you get him 5-5, but I don't really recommend it. But he is by far a top-of-the-line, amazing epic raid character for sure. That is pretty much a must-have if you don't have any other normal Link Slot Potion character for Technique. Now, at number 9, oh my goodness, Grimjow, he's fallen off a bit. But he's still pretty good, though. Again, he works very well with Ilfor, and that is the thing that you guys need to take into consideration, because look at what he has. He still has Frenzy plus 2, Havoc of 20%. He can farm both normal pots and super pots. No Berserker or Full Stam or any of that kind of sort, sadly, but he does at least have this technique, attribute, or Ronker damage to status on affected enemies of 20%, so once you inflict weakening, that's more damage, even though this guy doesn't have Disabler. But at the very least, unlike SAIKYOU, let's say he gets cucked and you can't use his poison, Grimmjow will work just fine. You can still proc the status summons and get the job done a bit faster in that kind of scenario, even though Gin is going to be better. And he's got a good kit as well. He's got literally a 3k length beam, the 750 into 750 Suction Vortex, and then the Charge SA3, just like the Machine Society Nemu. He's very good. He's definitely aged better, but it's just that he doesn't have any way of being able to consistently do damage besides the Frenzy plus 2. He does have damage to weaken enemies of plus 20%, guard break, and weaken immunity, so yeah, he still is a strong character, just lacks a bit of multipliers and lacks a means of being able to inflict status summons a bit more easily. Up next at number 8 is Roka. God, I still think that this character is mid, but I'm still including her on the list. The kit is bad, but she has by far really damn good multipliers, such as having Frenzy plus 1, 40% Berserker, status summon Spiritual Pressure boost, and with the fact that she has the Homing Vortex on the SA2, not the 960 into Homing Vortex, just that, she's just gonna be able to have a very easy time inflicting status summons as a whole, on top of having shared complete status immunity, sharpshooter, and also having extra 40% strong attack damage when at full stam, and can also recover 20% stamina when moving in between the quest to herself and all her allies, and also has long stride, so she is still pretty much a monster for when it comes to the skills, but I cannot say the same thing about the kit, because she does have the 18% shave attack, only the homing vortex, and then the third Tron attack, which is full screen and hits like a truck. If this character had, like, per se, a better SA1, like the 750 in front like Anime Uryu, I think this would have been a lot better, because it would mean that she would be able to do consistent damage instead of just blocking the status summons. Like, why give her the shave when you have the homing vortex for it, man? It makes no sense. You guys understand what I mean? Only holo killer, no double killers, so there's that to take into consideration. She's number 8 for a reason. But now, on the number 7 list, SAIKYOU. Now, this character, in my opinion, was fumbled because he is the final Spirits Are Forever With You character who have come out alongside Mayuri. We were all waiting for this Gin in Mayuri to come out, to only end up like this, being worse than Toshiro and not even hitting the top 5 or even top 3 best technique characters in the game. It's disappointing because he's got a very good kit. He literally plays like 6th Anniversary Aizen. He has the 3k length beam on the SA1, 960 into Homing Vortex, and a full screen SA3. This guy's better than Roka. This guy's better than Roka kit-wise, but not better than her skill-wise, but at least he has increased status summon chance to make up for it, but that's only when enemies aren't immune to poison in this case. So it is sad to say the least, but looking at everything else, he does have Frenzy plus 2, he has this wasted skill of Technique, Attribute, Character, Movement Speed of plus 30%, should have been freaking Berserker 40 or Full Stam 20, god damn it, Coin Drop. Please miss me with that BS. Damage to poison enemies of plus 40% with the increased status summon chance, very easy to get off, and that's when enemies aren't immune. The Bullet Header, Devastation, Guard Break plus hit hidden enemies, has the same skills as Grimmjow, where he's a pot farmer and a super pot farmer, no affiliation killer. Other than that, he still is a very good character. He also does have Long Stride with Havoc of 20%, Sprint plus 2. He needed double status elements. He needed way better skills. It just doesn't cut it for a final SAIKYOU character, if you guys know what I mean. And I'm always going to be complaining about this game whenever I talk about him for good reasons. I'm sorry, but they kind of fumbled the kit. And yeah, also he needed a second killer. Like, come on, why can Toshiro get it but not this game? But yeah, up next at number 6 is Art Book Ichigo. Yeah, he's fallen off of the top 5 now. That's crazy to even think about now. Really, it's crazy. It's freaking crazy. Now, in my opinion, I still think that Gin is going to be better than this Art Book Ichigo for everything else IT related. But this guy still has by far the most value. Now, even though he does a lot less damage, he still has like what? Berserker 60, he's got weakening on his entire kit, Frenzy, Marauder, Havoc Bombardment, double killers of Soul Reaper, and no affiliation, and is immune to being staggered because of Poise, even though I don't like Poise too much as a skill for SP-based characters. It still works in this kind of case, so that way, yeah. He's also immune to every single status element, has Long Stride and Sperm +2. It's just that the kit isn't as good as Geen, but the thing to take note into consideration is that he's got a bit more consistent DPS output, he's got weakening, and he also can nuke. He's got the Suction Vortex on the SA1, the 960, and the third Tron attack that is full screen. Now, granted, this guy doesn't have increased status element chance like Geen, but overall, in every single piece of content, I still think that this character is better than SAIKYOU. So, it is a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, let us move on to the top 5 best technique characters that we have in the game. Uryu. Now, yes, I have bumped them down a bit. That's actually crazy. Not top 3, but top 5. But still, this is a very solid character that we have here because he has double killers of Soul Reaper and Captain. Okay, Captain Killer, yeah, not the greatest killer, but in epic grades, it helps out a lot because this guy is still the ultimate farmer for technique. He still has, like, high damage output, Berserker 60, full stam 20, technique attribute character strong attack damage of 20%, and bombardment +1. And to top it all off, guess what? He even has guard break plus pierce iron skin, so again, more future-proofed than the likes of SAIKYOU, Geen, and Cacao Society Grimmjow. He's just going to be able to penetrate through iron skin and get the job done easily, and he will treat Inheritance Trials like as if it were a 5-star raid, which is saying a lot. Literally saying a lot. The innate abilities, he's also got Stamina Recovery, Havoc of 20%, and Sperm +1. And guess what? This guy has the same kit as Roka, but way better. He has the 750 AoE in front, so that's already better than the 18% shave. The homing vortex only, just like Roka, and then the third strong attack is full screen. So yeah, he's a lot better than Roka in this kind of case in particular, just that he isn't immune to status elements, and he also doesn't have long stride, but other than that, he's a very solid hitter for the technique attribute, and I feel like he just done really well. He's gonna age very, very long time, and I do see this character still being in the top 10 for like a good year from now, for damn sure, easily. Retsu, yeah, I also bumped her down a bit, and I think you guys can pretty much expect to see who's at number 3. So I did it for you guys because I saw a good amount of controversy and the fact that he hits harder, and I decided to acknowledge it. But even then, Retsu is still like the faster unit because she's got a very good kit still. She's aged very well, and I feel like that people completely forget about this character. They do, because she's basically 6th anniversary Aizen, but better for the technique attribute as a hitter. As a hitter. As an overall character with the most value, not really, but like as a hitter, she still does the job fine. She has Frenzy +2, damage inflicted at full stam of 20%, Berserker 20%, Havoc of 20%, Marauder, weaken defense on her Soul Bomb, Debilitator, weakening and drain, so again, future-proofed, which is what I would love to see. Has a higher cooldown reduction thanks to this skill alone, Medic and Sperm +1. She has the 3k length beam on that SA1 of hers. She has the same SA2 as Tokinata, where she gathers enemy mobs and pushes them back. And then the SA3 is basically the same as 5th Anniversary Ichigo, Machine Society Nemu, 840 into 1080 charge SA3, and because this character has Frenzy +2, with the Berserker 20 and full stamina 20, she's gonna hit like a truck. She's gonna be able to one-shot multiple waves of mobs with that SA3 alone. That's how ridiculously strong this character is, just that she doesn't have double killers, which is a bit unfortunate, but it was done really well. And her Soul Bomb is good too, thanks to the fact that she has weakened defense. Give her weakened defense on the bonus abilities, and she'll be able to nuke like a truck, for damn sure. So yeah, you can sub 1 with this character for some guild quests if you don't happen to have the best nuker in the game, so yeah. Now at number 3, 1000-Year Blower Aizen, still the absolute best NAD character that we have in the game. He is able to auto every single piece of content, even in Inheritance Trials, and he is the second character to come with the gauge mechanic. Like, he still has Blurry, freaking Bruiser 40, 20% normal attack damage on the soul trait, so it rounds up to 60% increased status element chance against speed attribute enemies. So a lot of people are going to be using this character a lot more frequently compared to the characters that are below him, except for Uryu. Multi-barrier plus 2, 80% attack buff, just like Cacao Society Ulquiorra. And on top of that, has weakening on his entire kit. He's still by far the most broken NAD character that we have in the game. And considering he has the gauge mechanic, every time you fill up that gauge mechanic and activate it, for 10 seconds, he will gain 100% Bruiser. Keep that in mind. He's always going to be able to get that active every time he activates the gauge. And considering they buffed the gauge mechanic not too long ago, it's great. Like, Aizen, Uryu, and Toshiro got a really damn good buff from it. And on top of that, even immune to fire, so you can use him for a ranged Aranker GQ, and also has read all affiliation dodges. Now, the strong attacks don't really matter too much because he doesn't have a Berserker, but if you guys want to know what he has the Shotgun Blast on the SA1, 800 AoE in front on the SA2, and then the third strong attack, which is going to matter a lot for getting that 80% attack buff. The Suction into Vortex kind of attack like 5th Anniversary Byakuya. This character not falling off anytime soon, like easily. 1000-year blower Aizen made his comeback, and it's great to see him being stronger than ever. Number 2, Safi Toshiro. You guys can already guess who's at number 1, but I put Safi Toshiro in here for a good reason. Now, he's got the way better kit. Definitely. I can agree. But like, everything else that this guy has is ridiculous. It really is. Still, he has Soul Reaper with Squad Zero Killer. Okay, Squad Zero is really not that great. Only phrase, sadly, but thankfully he has the gauge mechanic that can help him out with being able to clear content fast. He has the best multipliers ever, like easily. Well, second best multipliers ever that character can pretty much get. Just needed increased status summon chance, but even then, Frenzy Bliss 1, Berserker 40, okay? He's got Bombardment. The gauge mechanic can now heal once you activate it, which is pretty damn good. That's his way of getting his stamina back. Also has Havoc at 20%, Marauder, Shared Complete Status and Immunity, 80% SP buff, Bombardment. And I was wrong about this character. This character can actually sub 1 GQ, so yeah, it's basically almost as good as Artbook Ichigo's nuke, but just not crazy enough to the point that you can basically nuke like 7th Anniversary Ichigo, Christmas Noel, those kind of characters right there, even Yamamoto, Mayuri, and Ulquiorra. But yeah, innate abilities, increased strong attack damage of 40% when at full stamina damage boost of 20%, and Spurner plus 2. And he plays exactly like 7th Anniversary Uryu, 3k length beam with 1020. Lunge, which is 870 into 1080. And then a full screen 1200 radius. This character is not falling off the top 3 list anytime soon unless we get another tech character that completely outdoes this character and who I'm about to go into at number 1. But yeah, this character is still very beefy. He's not falling off anytime soon, easily. Even with the fact that he only had 1 single status element, he still did pretty well in IT when he had his freeze completely blocked off in that one human killer, Harrison's Trials. But now, at number 1, let's see Ichigo. A lot of people completely shitted on this character just because he got a way worse kit. Lads, don't let that fool you, because this guy's multipliers are way out of this world and is by far the first character to get both Frenzy plus 2 and the 80% SP buff. But guess what? That was not the only thing that this character ever got. No. This character went above and beyond. They decided to also give him Berserker 40% technique attribute character strong attack damage of 20% and increased status summon chance with Sharpshooter, making him by far the definitive best technique character that we have in the game, even if his kit is nowhere near as exceptionally amazing as Toshiro. So keep that in mind. And then the innate abilities. Oh, that's not enough, bro. Y'all thought that it was enough from the skills? Guess what? He got full stam, 20%, so he does a lot more damage, and he still keeps the Havoc, and he still also gets Spam +2. No Long Stride, unfortunately, but you can apply it to the bonus abilities. He's got a pretty good Soul Bomb regardless, with the fact that he can pretty much have 80% SP buff and everything else. He's got the same Soul Bomb as Safi Yoruichi, so you can sub 1 with this character should you guys choose to max transcend this character, even though there's a lot better nukers out there to pretty much use over this character, like Yamamoto. But that goes besides the point. That really goes besides the point. Now the kit, he's got the 18% shave, and that's why a lot of people complain about it, just because they gave him that SA1. Lads, I don't have Quincy Ichigo, but I showcased him, and thankfully he was able to one-shot. Thanks to all of these multipliers helping him out. That SA1 is no longer bad if you make this character as broken as he is. Like, literally. And then the SA2 is a 3k length beam. Now, I can understand why people will complain about it, because it's kind of a bit linear and you have a lot less area to cover, but honestly speaking, in some narrow maps you can line it up nicely and it's still gonna help out regardless. Like, it still is a very good front attack. If you guys love using you know, Spirits Are Forever With You, Cannon Kenpachi, yeah, he's basically gonna be like that. And then his third front attack is full screen. Busted character, he is also premium, so like, thankfully, if you guys did not get him when he dropped on the main banner or in the individual banner like me, because I got cucked hella hard for this douchebag, you guys can pull him from tickets, and he's bound to come back a bit more often compared to the Spirits Are Forever With You characters. So there's that to take into consideration. But yeah, Quincy Ichigo, Redemption Arc at his finest, easily. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. This was my top 10 list of Technic characters, completely updated. And I'm definitely going to update Power because of the amount of Power characters that we got. Even Mayuri is worth talking about, even though I don't like his character. I'm just going to voice out my opinion and just be, you know, as descriptive as possible. Just like I did with it. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys all in the next one. This has been your boy, the Dash Smasher, and I am signing. So take care, lads. Peace out. Bye.